Her Honor, President Indira Demerit Francis. Her Honor, Vice President Helen Amarales Jones. Her Honor, Vice President Tirada Holmes Ferguson. Her Honor, Vice President Ingrid Cooper Brooks. Her Honor, Vice President Rianda Dalabo Cadet. Her Honor, Vice President Shabola Schman. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Bahamas by Master K. McCartney.
Your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland. March on to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks the manner of your bearing. Pledge to excel through love and unity. Pressing onward, march together to a common lofty goal. Stay sunward, throw the weather, hide the wide and treacherous shore. Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland, till the road you've trod lead unto your God. March on, Bahamaland.
Continue standing for the invocation which will be rendered by Reverend Carla Cunningham.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this season and this new year for the Industrial Tribunal. Father, bless the President, the Vice President, all judges and members of this team. Equip them with the wisdom needed to adjudicate on the cases for this year. When times are challenging, remind them that you will lead and guide them in the ways that they should go. Empower them with fortitude, grace and compassion, and discernment. May each judge and each team member serve with diligence, consistency, and efficiently as they proceed in their assigned roles. Lord, according to Psalm 91, place a hedge of protection around this workplace, around their homes, and all their family members and every member on this team. Cover them with your precious blood, and Lord, guide them in all that they do as they serve our Bahama land. And we present this year and all that is to come to you. These are our prayers and our petitions. In the precious name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please remain standing. Please be seated.
The Honorable Sir Ian Winder, Chief Justice of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Good morning. I gratefully adopt the established protocol. Permit me nonetheless to recognize the President of the Industrial Tribunal, the members of the Tribunal, and all distinguished guests. It is a privilege to address you once again at the commencement of this new year in the life of the Industrial Tribunal. These occasions afford us the opportunity to reflect on the Tribunal's vital role in safeguarding fairness in the workplace and to chart the course for its continued development. I therefore regret that I am unable to physically join you at the ceremony, but I am nonetheless grateful to Her Honor, the President, for this opportunity to address you virtually. The Tribunal occupies a unique space in our judicial landscape. It is entrusted with resolving disputes that touch directly upon the dignity of labor and the stability of industry. Its work ensures that justice in the workplace is not delayed and that the rights of employers and employees alike are respected. In the year ahead, efficiency must remain the hallmark of the Tribunal's operations. Efficiency is not merely a matter of speed, it is the discipline of delivering justice in a timely, transparent, and accessible manner. The public's confidence in the Tribunal depends upon its ability to resolve disputes without unnecessary delay. The age in which we live demands that institutions embrace technology. Properly harnessed, technology can streamline case management, reduce backlog, and enhance transparency. The Industrial Tribunal has always led in this area. I nonetheless sound a note of caution. Technology, particularly artificial intelligence, must never be allowed to distort or diminish justice. I urge the President and members of the Tribunal to adopt clear safeguards, ensuring that innovation serves the cause of fairness and does not compromise it. I readily accept that in an environment heavily utilized by unrepresented litigants, such a tool represents a very useful aid. I therefore encourage the Industrial Tribunal to consider the guidance recently issued by the Supreme Court on the responsible use of artificial intelligence and see how this could assist its continued work. I therefore encourage the President to take deliberate steps to strengthen the Tribunal's processes, to guard against misuse of technology, and to ensure that efficiency is pursued without sacrificing thoroughness. In doing so, the Tribunal will continue to stand as a beacon of industrial peace and judicial integrity. As the new year unfolds, may the Industrial Tribunal be marked by wisdom, resilience, and a renewed dedication to its noble mission. The nation looks to this institution for fairness in the workplace, and I am confident that it will continue to rise to this challenge with distinction. Thank you.
The Honorable Pia Glover Roll, Minister of Labor and the Department of Public Service.
A pleasant good morning to our Honorable Attorney General, distinguished colleagues, Madam President, esteemed members of the Industrial Tribunal, members of the legal profession, and all who have gathered for this significant occasion. The opening of this legal year provides an opportunity to recognize the Industrial Tribunal's exceptional contributions to justice in the Bahamas over the years. Your institution has demonstrated what visionary leadership looks like in our nation. It was the Industrial Tribunal that first advanced digitalization to drive case management, e-filing, and transcriptions, fundamentally redefining how justice could be delivered in the 21st century Bahamas. The Tribunal's leadership in arbitration and alternative dispute resolution deserves particular commendation. While we speak of these mechanisms in aspirational terms as we strive to become an international hub for arbitration and ADR, the Industrial Tribunal has already made these processes operational realities. You have proven that these alternatives can be effective within our context, minimizing the need for costly, protracted proceedings. The coming months will bring substantial reforms to our legal and labor framework. New legislation will strengthen protections for Bahamian workers, creating a more robust architecture for workplace rights and dispute resolution. These changes will reshape the labor landscape, ensuring fairness while maintaining the balance necessary for economic growth. As these reforms take shape, the Industrial Tribunal will remain essential to protecting the rights of workers. Your proven capacity for innovation and your dedication to accessible justice have positioned you perfectly for this moment, and the workers of the Bahamas will benefit as a result. I extend my gratitude for your service to the Bahamian people. Your work ensures that every citizen, regardless of their rank, background, or the island they call home, can secure a fair resolution of workplace disputes. I commend you for all you have done, and I wish you a productive and successful legal year.
Mrs. Samantha May Francis, President of the Industrial Court of Antigua and Barbuda.
Good morning, everyone. The Honorable Madam President, Indira Demerits Francis, esteemed members of the bench and bar, other distinguished guests, union representatives, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to join you this morning, though virtually, at this special sitting marking the opening of the 2025-2026 legal year of the Bahamas Industrial Court. On behalf of the judges, the registrar, the deputy registrar, the administrative staff of the Antigua and Barbuda Industrial Court, and also on behalf of myself, I extend warm greetings and sincere appreciation for your gracious invitation. Ceremonial openings such as these hold deep symbolic meaning. They affirm our collective commitment to the rule of law, to judicial independence, and to the enduring values of fairness, impartiality, and equal access to justice. These gatherings also remind the public, whom we are sworn to serve, that the judiciary remains steadfast, accountable, and grounded in our professional oath. This year's theme, A Decade of Transformation from Vision to Accomplishment, is both fitting and powerful. Over the last decade, your court has modernized, expanded its reach, and strengthened its systems, meeting rising caseloads with consistency and resolve. Such progress demonstrates the public's confidence in your institution and highlights the indispensable role of this court in national stability and economic development. The Industrial Court is no ordinary court. It is a specialist court, and its judgments, frequently upheld by appellate courts, shape the working lives and livelihoods of thousands. Your decisions influence wages, conditions, industrial harmony, and ultimately the productivity and prosperity of the nation. Labor justice is, by its nature, social justice. The Industrial Court serves as the platform where workers and employers resolve disputes peacefully without resorting to strikes, lockouts, and destabilization of industries and sectors. In doing so, the court protects not only the rights of individuals, but the social fabric of the nation. As judges, we must always remember that justice and public interest intersect. Our rulings must consistently promote fairness, equity, and transparency. The ripple effects of our decisions are profound, touching not only the parties before us, but entire sectors of the economy. The court is not merely a service provided by the state, it is a pillar of the state itself. A strong justice system reinforces democratic principles, safeguards rights, and builds public trust. Today's celebration is therefore more than ceremonial. It's a reminder that we must improve, we must defend and explain the justice system, ensuring that it remains accessible, modern, and resilient. As we reflect on the past, we must also confront the future with clarity. The legal landscape is expanding, litigation is becoming more complex, industrial relations are shifting rapidly under global pressures, technological change, and evolving work models. To meet these demands, it is essential that our courts strengthen administrative and case management systems, embrace technology, speedy and efficient disposal of matters, secure the judicial and human resources needed for timely decision making. There is a direct and undeniable link between resources and results. Justice delayed remains justice denied, and we must not allow delay to become an impediment to fairness. The future of labor justice therefore requires collaborations from every actor: the Attorney General, the unions, employers, the practicing legal professionals, and the wider judiciary. Together, we must commit to ensuring that the industrial court remains a pillar of stability, order, and fairness in the evolving world of work. I know that your task is not always easy, but as you begin this new legal year, I encourage you to recommit yourself in new ways to excellence, innovation, and integrity. May the Bahamas Industrial Court continue to stand as a beacon of justice, strengthening lives, protecting industries, and shaping a more equitable society for decades to come. I thank you, and I wish you a successful and progressive legal year.
Joni Musabayana, Director, International Labor Organization, Caribbean Office.
President Demerit Francis, judges of the tribunal, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to join colleagues and partners at the opening of this legal year, dedicated to the theme, A Decade of Transformation, from Vision to Accomplishment. Over the past decade, this tribunal has emerged as a regional leader, setting new standards of dispute resolution through strategic partnerships, groundbreaking digital advances, and a steadfast commitment to service excellence. It has been a journey defined by innovation, collaboration, and a courageous pursuit of modern justice. And the International Labour Standard is indeed privileged to be part of that journey. In this spirit of transformation, allow me to reflect on how us as the ILO, now in our second century, and indeed through international labor conventions, have also continually evolved, responding to the changing world of work and offering guidance to address society's greatest needs. Early instruments emphasize protection of vulnerable groups, including women, children, indigenous workers, and seafarers. They also created standards on fundamental conditions of work such as working hours, minimum wage, social security, and the abolition of forced labor. Conventions like the Hours of Work Convention of 1919, which is the first convention we have, number one, the Minimum Age Protection Convention of 1919, number 5, and a series of conventions on sickness insurance, and the landmark Forced Labor Convention of 1930, number 26, laid the groundwork for social insurance and labor rights as we know them today. As social realities shifted after the Second World War, the ILO responded by further advancing essential rights and protections, including freedom of association, equal pay, and anti-discrimination measures. Convention coverage expanded to workplace health and safety through the Occupational Safety and Health Convention of 1981, number 155, and other specific conventions such as the Asbestos Convention of 1986, number 162. The ILO also sought to address the profound harms through the worst forms of child labor convention of 1999, number 182. In recent years, the ILO's legislative agenda has sharpened its focus to tackle more contemporary challenges and urgent issues such as domestic work, violence and harassment, and consolidating protections for seafarers. The Domestic Workers Convention of 2011, number 189, has elevated protections for a critical and often invisible workforce. And the Violence and Harassment Convention of 2019, number 190, is the first international treaty to comprehensively address violence and harassment in the workplace. In this context, I wish to mention that the ILO and the International Labour Conference have determined in 2022 that the occupational safety and health must now become a fundamental principle and right at work, along with the freedom of association, collective bargaining, forced labor, child labor, equality, and non-discrimination. The ILO has been tackling this issue since its establishment, and numerous conventions have been adopted. This addition of occupational health and safety as a fundamental right at work reflects the global recognition of the essential nature of occupational health and safety in our society. Indeed, it is by no mistake that this realization was driven home by the realities and the impact and aftermath of COVID-19. I also wish to highlight how the ILO has been dealing with one specific issue over time. The ILO's evolving approach is also illustrated by the progressive shift in treating an issue of night work for women. The first convention on this matter, Convention number 4 of 1919, generally prohibited night work for women. A few more conventions were adopted on this matter in the 1930s and 40s. They gradually expanded cases where night work for women may be allowed. This trend finally culminated in the equality-focused Night Work Convention of 1990, number 171. This instrument generally allows night work for both men and women, but requires specific consideration measures for women working at night. Even as new challenges emerge, whether through technological disruption, new forms of employment, and ambiguous employment relationships, global health threats, and threats of climate change, the ILO's dynamic standard setting has remained essential. And so the ILO will continue in its mission of supporting member states, including the Bahamas, in adopting labor standards to protect the dignity and security of all workers and employers in a rapidly evolving world. In summary, as the world transforms, so must our laws and institutions, if we are to preserve commitment to fairness in the workplace. I reiterate that the ILO stands ready to support Bahamas to ensure that labor laws serve the dignity and aspiration of everyone in the workplace, and indeed ensuring that through the tribunal, everybody is given a fair chance to access these rights. With this, I wish you a successful event. Thank you.
Recorder, Miss Anesta Weeks, KC.
Good afternoon, everyone, and particularly to our President, Indira Demarite Francis, to all of the tribunal judges, and of course to any further distinguished guests. I was delighted to be invited for the opening of the new legal year for the industrial tribunals of the Bahamas. I congratulate the tribunal for their achievements in the years 2023, 2024. and I wish them well for the coming year and for the support the tribunal will bring to all those in the Bahamas who requires employment law support. Her Honor and I met some 20 years ago, 2006. I arrived in the Bahamas to represent 2 appellants listed before the Privy Council. The Privy Council also arrived in the Bahamas the same year for their first visit in the region. Her Honor was then the Registrar of the Court of Appeal. In her capacity as the Registrar, she was solely responsible for Her Majesty's Privy Council. The Right Honourable Dame Joan Sawyer was present to welcome the distinguished Privy Council judges. I'm also delighted to see the judges of the tribunal today. The employment judges and I give great thanks to the President for setting aside a day for training and a seminar led and organised by myself for all of the employment law judges. As a guest in this jurisdiction, I was very pleased to meet a number of important persons in the Bahamas. First, Her Excellency Cynthia Pratt, the Honourable Chief Justice Sir Ian Winder, the Attorney General, Senator Ryan Pinder, Justice of Appeal. Justice of Appeal, Maureen Crane Scott, soon to retire, we say sadly, from the Court of Appeal of the Bahamas. And we wish her all the best when she returns to Barbados. So finally, I wish the employment judges and the President receive all that is excellent for the new year. And we pray that it will be a prosperous year for employment law. Thank you.
Mr. Roderick Dawson Malone, Council Member of the Bahamas Bar Association.
Good morning. May it please you, Madam President, I stand on the protocol established. Our President, Mr. Khalil Parker Casey, due to an existing scheduling conflict, has asked me to stand in his place next to our Vice President, Mrs. Crystal Rutherford Ferguson, as Bar Council did not want to miss the occasion to provide support in person to the Honorable Industrial Tribunal as it marks its opening under the theme, A Decade of Transformation from Vision to Accomplishment. It may not be known, but during the past decade, I have had the unique privilege of appearing before the Honorable Tribunal, both here in the capital as well in the northern region, and I have also had the privilege of serving as an acting vice president on a number of occasions in both locations, spanning the pre- and post-digital and virtual world transformation. This experience permits me the opportunity to speak from an empathetic position with all sincerity when I say that the tribunal is, in fact, a true reflection of vision to accomplishment. It is not gainsaid that the Honorable Tribunal is the cornerstone for adjudication of labor disputes in our modern society, providing recourse and seamless access for persons of all walks of life, regardless of representation. In pursuit of justice, geography should never be a barrier. For a sprawling archipelago like the Bahamas, ensuring equitable access to legal institutions has always presented a unique challenge. Yet, the Industrial Tribunal has risen to the challenge during this past decade. The introduction of the smart court system has been a game changer. This has solidified the Tribunal's commitment to modernization and excellent service. Please permit me to slightly digress. I recall notices of hearings being sent via fax and praying not to miss it because of power outage or unplugged or no paper in the machine when being summoned to appear in Nassau, being located in Freeport. I recall traveling in and files being all over the place, not located, and causing adjournments. It was the tribunal's introduction of the concept of a completely digitized court system with a modern e-filing and case management system that changed the legal culture, which has largely been adopted by the Supreme Court in the Bahamas. As an acting vice president in 2024, I had the opportunity to experience the robust case management system. The internal system ensures that all case files and records are digitized. This provides immediate digital access to documents and files at any time, anywhere, allowing members of the tribunal full access to files and thus allowing the work to continue in the face of most adverse situations. The Folio e-filing portal allows attorneys and litigants across the country from their own offices or homes to participate. The system has streamlined the process of ensuring that cases can be managed with efficiency due to access, which gives parties a strong sense of transparency of the process and ease of advocating their positions. No need to miss court, Freeport matters in Nassau and vice versa. Council commends the tribunal's advancement in technology to streamline its delivery of services. Recently, I am aware of hearings for Abaco-based matters before the judge in Freeport, witness in Abaco, lawyer in Nassau, and lawyer in Freeport. No time lost. The implementation of virtual adjudication hearings via platforms like Zoom has been revolutionary. This means parties no longer need to incur the expense and time of inter-island travel to attend conciliation or court sessions, making the process significantly more convenient and, importantly for those practitioners like myself, more cost-effective for litigants, particularly as it's costless court. The vision to provide access has transformed the tribunal into a globally accessible institution. The ability to access justice the way these transformative tools have been implemented this past decade at the tribunal surpass national use and are available anywhere in the world, solidifying the tribunal's commitment, modernization, and service of excellence. Even with this great achievement, the vision continues to grow and evolve, as I would like to highlight most notable recent developments. 2016 has been a result of much advocacy. 2025. In March 2025, the introduction of enforcement proceedings in the Supreme Court. Then in May 2025, the increase of 5 judges to 6, with the ability to have up to 7. And now in July, the rollout of the new Industrial Relations Tribunal Procedure Rules, which bring into force process in line with the implementation of innovation, allowing access and convenience for all. The driving force being president-led to permit enforcement of judgments via the Supreme Court was a much-needed expedition. Proactive case management powers, expediency seems to be the goal, but one must digest that as it is balanced perfectly against efficiency. We commend the President, Her Honor Mrs. Indira Demerit Francis, the Vice Presidents, and the dedicated staff for their diligence and vision in leading the nation into a more inclusive era. Collectively, the work ensures that the constitutional principle of justice for all is upheld in practice across all our islands, keys, and the world. As this year opens, may it continue to grow in the direction heading with the full continued support of Bar Council. May it please you, Madam President.
The Honorable Sir Ian Winder, Chief Justice of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Justices of the Court of Appeal, Justices of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Pia Glover Roll, Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable President of the Industrial Court of Antigua and Barbuda, Ms. Samantha May Francis, Law Reform Commissioner, Ms. Tina Roy, vice presidents, judges of the Industrial Court of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honorable Sir Brian Marie, former Chief Justice of the Bahamas and former Justice of Appeal, the Honorable Mr. Justice Adrian Saunders, former President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, Mr. Joni Musabayana, Director of the International Labor Organization, Caribbean Region, Mr. Bevel Wooding, Executive Director of the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions, His Excellency Paul Andy Gomez, High Commissioner to the Court of St. James, the United Kingdom, Her Excellency Deborah Thomas Felix, High Commissioner of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to Jamaica, with accreditation to Dominican Republic and Haiti, and former President of the Industrial Court of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Onesta Weeks, King's Counsel and Recorder, United Kingdom, members and retired members of the Diplomatic Corps, retired justices of the Court of Appeal, retired justices of the Supreme Court, registrars, stipendiary and circuit magistrates, acting permanent secretary Sonia Colma, permanent secretaries, Director of Legal Affairs, Ms. Dania Parker, Director of Labor, Mr. Howard Thompson, Director of National Insurance Board, Dr. Tammy Francis, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Director General Jerusa Lee Ali, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Assistant Commissioner Roger Thompson, Representative for the Organization of American States, Ms. Phyllis Barron, other senior government officials, Mr. Roderick Dawson Malone on behalf of the Bahamas Bar Council, Ms. Tanya Bastian Galanis, Principal of the Eugene DePuch Law School, Mr. Dwayne Woods, President of the National Congress of Trade Unions of the Bahamas, Sharon Martin, Chairman of the National Tripartite Council, the Registrar of the Trade Unions, Ms. Yolantha Yallop, Mr. Gowdy, Director of Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Crystal Rutherford, past Chairman for the Chamber of Commerce, trade union leaders, members of the bar, Reverend Carla Culmer, pastor of Trinity Methodist Church, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. My opening reflection today is that justice is our collective responsibility. We wonder why there are laws. Laws exist to ensure justice, and justice, in its purest form, is all our business. Each of us must pause to reflect on the kind of person we are. Are we the kind of person who stands with others in their pursuit of justice, or the kind who remains silent when justice is denied? Because if we will not help to bring about justice for others, we too will one day experience injustice ourselves. Too often, people do not help others to seek justice simply because they are not directly affected. Yet, this indifference speaks volumes. It reminds us that the measure of a just society is not found only in its laws, but in the courage and compassion of its people. Those who choose to act, to care, and to ensure that fairness prevails. Justice, therefore, is not merely a function of the courts and judges. It is the duty of every citizen. And in that truth lies the very reason the Industrial Tribunal exists, to ensure that justice is not an abstract concept, but a lived reality for the people we serve. Honorable members, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests, it is with great honor that I present this end-of-year stewardship report on the progress, goals, and achievements of the Industrial Tribunal. Over the past 2 years, our commitment to justice, efficiency, and transformation has remained persistent. We have made significant strides in modernizing our operations, strengthening institutional relationships, and enhancing access to justice for all stakeholders. This morning's sitting marks both a judicial occasion and a moment of reflection on the progress made since our last formal opening. It symbolizes continuity, accountability, and the collective commitment of the tribunal to its constitutional purpose. For the public's consideration, it should be noted that no special sitting of the Industrial Tribunal was held in November 2024, and consequently, no annual report was issued for the years 2023 and 2024. This year's presentation therefore covers the 2-year period for 23 and 2024 and provides a full account of the tribunal's work, achievements, and institutional growth during that time. My absence from the bench in 2024 was occasioned by a temporary judicial assignment to the Supreme Court in Grand Bahama. On the 21st of May 2024, a request which I was pleased to accommodate for a period of 6 months in service to the judiciary. Upon my return to New Providence, I took up my substantive position as president with a renewed focus and vigor. This report marks the 10th anniversary of the steps we have taken on our institutional journey, a decade of transformation from vision to accomplishment. Over these 10 years, the Industrial Tribunal has evolved from a modest administrative body into a fully modernized, technologically enabled industrial tribunal. It stands today as a symbol of institutional resilience and reform built upon the principles of fairness, transparency, and access to justice. The years 2023 and 2024 mark a significant period of growth for the Industrial Tribunal, as we welcomed new appointments to strengthen our judicial team and expand our institutional capacity. Notably, Her Honor Sabula Lawanson Swain was appointed as an acting vice president of the Industrial Tribunal on the 19th of January, 2024, and is now a substantive holder of office of vice president. Her appointment has already contributed meaningfully to the tribunal's efficiency, the quality of its adjudicative work, and its capacity to address an expanding national caseload. We extend our sincere congratulations and best wishes to Vice President Swain as she continues to serve with distinction and dedication. On the 19th of March 2024 and on the 24th of May 2024 respectively, Mr. Roderick Dawson Malone and Mrs. Carolyn Vogt Evans were both appointed as acting vice presidents of the Industrial Tribunal for short stints. I wish to acknowledge them today to say thank you to them both for their contributions to the administration of justice. Throughout 2023 and 2024, the tribunal remained resolutely committed to addressing industrial disputes with diligence, fairness, and efficiency. In 2023, in New Providence, the tribunal received 149 certificates of referrals, while the Northern Region received 109, bringing the total of referrals for the year to 258. Despite this inflow of matters, the tribunal successfully managed 145 cases and achieved a commendable disposal rate of 228 cases across all judges. This level of productivity underscores the tribunal's commitment to the timely and effective resolution of disputes in accordance with its constitutional and statutory mandate. For 2024, the Industrial Tribunal continued to demonstrate its efficiency in resolving matters. In New Providence, the tribunal received 186 certificates of referral, while the Northern Region received 84, bringing the total number of referrals for that year to 270. Despite the continued increase in workload, the tribunal managed 133 cases and achieved a disposal rate of 131 cases across all judges. The Industrial Tribunal's total of 359 disposals of matters for the period under review for 2023 and 2024 reflects the Industrial Tribunal's enduring commitment to high performance, accountability, and the efficient administration of industrial justice. The month of August was designated as a period of judicial reflection and training, allowing judges the opportunity to focus on the writing of reserved decisions and on strengthening their adjudicative skills. This initiative was designed to ensure that the quality of decision-making remains consistent and that the judgments are delivered within a reasonable time frame. This structured pause in hearings also created an opportunity for judicial exchange and experience sharing. Judges were given the opportunity to sit temporarily in Grand Bahama via our online platform and in person, thereby broadening their exposure to regional matters and ensuring uniformity in practice across the islands. During this period, Vice President Helen Amarales-Jones was granted time to concentrate on the preparation of our outstanding decisions, a measure which has already enhanced the tribunal's efficiency and case management outcomes. In managing the resources, I adopted a structured and measured approach to balance judicial capacity with the volume of incoming referrals. By permitting judges to sit online for designated matters arising in Grand Bahama, even while stationed in New Providence, we maintained continuity of service, reduced delays, and ensured the tribunal's caseload was addressed efficiently despite geographical constraints. This strategic utilization of remote hearings allowed us to meet the demands of the listing of matters without compromising judicial oversight, thereby aligning available resources with the flow of referrals in a manner that upheld both timelessness and the equality of adjudication. In April 2025, the tribunal completed the construction of its sixth courtroom, designed to accommodate the appointment of a sixth judge, Vice President Swain. This achievement represents yet another step toward the realization of a fully equipped multi-court tribunal capable of meeting national demands. Additionally, the Industrial Tribunal Rules 2025 were formally signed by me on the 5th of June 2025 and brought into force on the 1st of July 2025. These rules modernized the tribunal's procedures, introduced clearer timelines for case management, and reinforced judicial accountability. I also take this opportunity to advise all members of the bar and legal representatives who appear before the tribunal that 3 new practice directions have been issued for the current legal year. These directives will be uploaded to the tribunal's official website for your review and guidance. Counsel and legal representatives are encouraged to familiarize themselves with these updates as they are intended to enhance efficiency, promote uniformity in practice, and support the orderly administration of justice within this forum. We have continued to build on our digital foundation. Document readers have now been installed in each courtroom, allowing for the seamless presentation and recording of evidence and contributing to a more efficient digital environment. This is a device that captures an image and displays the document onto a computer and is broadcast immediately to the court monitors during the hearing of a court matter. This allows all parties, including the judge, to see and be able to read the document at the same time. A new artificial intelligence pilot project is also underway, designed to assist in legal research, judgment formatting, and the tracking of case timelines. These projects forms part of the tribunal's broader digital modernization initiative and will be carefully evaluated for further implementation in 2026. I wish to record my gratitude to the government of the Bahamas for the national honor bestowed upon me with the award of the Order of the Bahamas Member for Leadership. This recognition reflects not only personal service, but also the collective achievements of the Industrial Tribunal as a whole. As we acknowledge and welcome our newly appointed Acting Permanent Secretary, Ms. Sonia Culmer, in the Office of the Attorney General, whose cooperation, efficiency, and support have already contributed immensely to the work of the tribunal, I look forward to continuing to work with her. At this time, I have the privilege today of formally presenting the annual report of the Industrial Tribunal for the 2-year period 2023 and 2024. The statistics for the 2 years reveals a clear trajectory of productivity and improvement. A total of 528 certificate of referrals were filed during the period under review. Of these, the tribunal disposed of a total of 359 matters, while an additional 278 cases were actively managed within the same time frame, demonstrating continued progress in case resolution and administrative efficiency. The annual report clearly gives a summary of each of the cases heard and the name of the judge who heard the case. The summary is detailed in accordance with Section 66A of the Industrial Relations Act, Chapter 321, and states as follows. The President of the Tribunal shall, within 6 months from the end of every year, prepare an annual report on the administration, the work of the Tribunal, and furnish such report to the Minister who shall cause it to be laid before both Houses of Parliament. The report referred to under subsection 1 shall include, but not limited to, information on the number of matters referred to the Tribunal, the number of matters resolved by the Tribunal for each reported year, and the dates of any referrals and decisions of the Tribunal for the reported year. The combined statistics indicate that 68% of the matters filed were concluded. This reflects a positive trend of maintaining productivity and judicial efficiency over the review period, reflecting consistent judicial oversight and a sustained commitment to prevent backlogs and enhancing productivity within the tribunal's operation. Additionally, the statistics attest to the continued diligence and the efficiency of the tribunal judges and the administrative staff. Over the past decade, the Industrial Tribunal has seen a significant increase in its judicial complement, expanding from 2 to 6 substantive appointments of judges. This development reflects not only a pragmatic response to caseload pressures, but also provides a valuable lens through which to assess the evolving nature of the Bahamas labor market and the broader socio-economic environment. The growth of the Industrial Tribunal signifies a corresponding rise in employment-related disputes, suggestive of a more active and complex labor market. This may be attributed to several factors: an expanding workforce, heightened awareness of employee rights, increased regulatory oversight, and broader shifts in employment, including the growth of fixed-term contracts, redundancies, and digital and non-traditional forms of work. These changes have necessitated greater judicial oversight in industrial relations and have placed increased demands on the Industrial Tribunal's capacity to deliver timely, reasoned decisions. Labor matters affect everyone and represent a cornerstone industry for the economic development of a country, and therefore should be guarded and relevant reforms put in place. The expansion also evidences a growing reliance on formal adjudicative mechanisms as a means of resolving workplace disputes. It reflects the Industrial Tribunal's emerging role as an accessible and credible forum for the enforcement of labor rights and the importance of industrial justice in supporting national productivity and social stability. While the increase in judicial personnel has alleviated some of the pressure on the Industrial Tribunal, it is important to recognize that sustainable efficiency also depends on continued investment in supporting infrastructure, case management systems, and legal and research capacity. Further, the pace and the nature of economic change demand ongoing vigilance and adaptability in the tribunal's approach to its mandate. In the present moment, the expansion of the Industrial Tribunal may be viewed not merely as a logistical necessity, but as an affirmation of the constitutional commitment to justice in the employment sphere. It reflects a jurisdiction that is increasingly responsive to the demands of a modern labor environment and committed to the timely and fair resolution of disputes arising within it. We take great pleasure in acknowledging and celebrating the presence of the President of the Industrial Court of Antigua and Barbuda, Ms. Samantha May Francis, and in welcoming her willingness to participate in these proceedings adds distinction to this occasion. We also wish to acknowledge her judges, the Honorable Orlando Michael, the Honorable Charlene Selkridge, I hope I said that right, and the Honorable Colin Maynard, and Registrar Mrs. Danielle Conoville, and other staff members who have joined us online. I thank the President for engaging in a valuable exchange of ideas and experiences with me. The camaraderie, collegiality, and mutual learning that this exchange has fostered will undoubtedly enrich our own judicial practices. The Industrial Tribunal extends sincere appreciation to all distinguished speakers for their invaluable contribution to this occasion. We are deeply grateful to the Honorable Chief Justice Sir Ian Winder, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, Minister of Labor and Public Service, Mr. Joni Musa Bayana, Director of the International Labor Organization Caribbean Region, Recorder Anesta Weeks, King's Counsel, and Mr. Roderick Dawson Malone, Member of the Bahamas Bar Council. We further thank our special guests and dignitaries for honoring us with their presence and for their continued support of the work of the Industrial Tribunal. A special mention goes out to Mr. Belville Wooding, Executive Director of the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions. I call him his sidekick, Mr. Richard Wall, who's sitting over there, ensuring that all is well, and his team who are in the background and who are responsible for ensuring that these proceedings are a success, and I say a big thank you to you. We wish to express appreciation to Mr. Donnie Martinborough, our landlord, for his cooperation, responsiveness, and ongoing efforts in preparing the tribunal for this opening, and for addressing several building concerns with professionalism and care. I also wish to thank our special guest, who was a 10-year-old and showed bravery, Mr. Cade McCartney, who sang the national anthem brilliantly with passion and love for country. I also extend warm thanks to Vice President Rionda Cadet for her invaluable assistance in compiling and finalizing the annual reports for 2023 and 2024, ensuring their timely presentation. I also wish to acknowledge in a special way the invaluable contributions of Mrs. Placaris Kerr, my personal assistant, whose support and meticulous attention to detail have been indispensable to the effective discharge of my duties. I further recognize Ms. Elizabeth Taylor and Sandra Grant, whose reliability, discretion, and consistent excellence exemplified the highest standards of public service. Their collective efforts strengthen the daily operations of the tribunal and greatly enhance the administration of justice. Miladies, milords, distinguished colleagues, I wish also to record the tribunal's sincere appreciation to a number of partners whose support has been indispensable to the successful commencement of this legal year. We extend heartfelt thanks to the Department of Labor and its staff, the Ministry of Finance, the Bahamas Information Services, in particular Ms. Camilla Chung, Mr. Kent Minnis, and their dedicated team today for their professionalism and expertise in ensuring our public communications remain accurate, timely, and accessible. We further acknowledge the government printing department, specifically Mr. Dion Farquharson, for their efficiency and diligence in producing the annual report within the retired time frame, a task essential to our transparency and accountability. Our gratitude is equally extended to Ms. Charlene Lang of DTAD, whose tireless service to the tribunal continues to strengthen the operational backbone of our institution, to our treasurer, who pays the bills, Ms. Barbara Zonical, whose stewardship of all financial processes remain exemplary, and to the accounts staff and wider team of the Office of the Attorney General for their ongoing administrative cooperation and support. Appreciation is also due to the cleaning staff of ECG, whose excellent work has ensured that this space is prepared with dignity and care for today's sitting, and to the caterers and food vendors for their thoughtful preparation, presentation, and decoration, which all present will enjoy following the conclusion of these proceedings. Finally, we extend warm thanks to the Trinity Methodist Church family for consistently welcoming us into their sanctuary during the Thanksgiving season, thereby enriching the spiritual character of our annual observances. We were honored as an institution to participate in the service held on Christ the King Sunday, the final Sunday before Advent. Reverend Kalma observed that our presence came at an especially meaningful time. And in her sermon, she invited us to reflect on a profound question: who is Jesus to you? We also expressed our deep thanks to retired Justice of Appeal Maureen Crane Scott, whose distinguished service on the appellate bench over a decade has profoundly shaped the jurisprudence of the Industrial Tribunal. Her judgments have provided clarity, guidance, and a principled framework upon which this tribunal continues to rely. On behalf of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we extend heartfelt gratitude for her immense contribution to the administration of justice. I further offer my personal thanks for the steadfast support she has given to the tribunal throughout the years. As she now proceeds on pre-retirement leave and prepares to demit the bench formally in February, it is both fitting and proper that we acknowledge her today. Justice Crane Scott is truly deserving of honor, and we are privileged to recognize her legacy at the opening of the Industrial Tribunal's legal year. We are especially grateful that she has agreed to conduct another training seminar for our judges tomorrow, before she brushes the sandy shores of our islands from her feet and returns safely to Barbados. May the Almighty God grant her the desires of her heart, and may her retirement be marked by continued fulfillment, rest first, peace second, and good health after a career of distinguished and selfless service. Before I conclude, I wish to place on record my profound gratitude and heartfelt thanks to all members of the tribunal staff, whose steadfast dedication and professionalism underpin the smooth and dignified functioning of this institution. Their commitment to excellence, and they're always so well dressed, often carried out away from the public's view, I haven't forgotten you, sustains the administration of justice and strengthens the confidence reposed in this tribunal by its people it serves. Equally, I extend my deep gratitude to each vice president and judge of the tribunal for their diligence, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the rule of law. Your collective efforts, marked by careful judgment, disciplined stewardship, and dedication to justice, continue to fortify the strength and unity and credibility of this bench. Finally, I ask the public to continue to cover our judges, staff, and this institution in prayer, that we may be guided with wisdom, discernment, and fairness in the administration of justice. The Industrial Tribunal remains unwavering in its mission to deliver timely, fair, and effective justice to the Bahamian people. The progress recorded over the past 2 years is a product of dedication of the judges, the staff, and the partners, and of continued support from the government, the bar, and the public. As we embark upon our next decade of service, we remain committed to innovation, collaboration, and excellence, ensuring that industrial justice in the Bahamas continues to evolve in both principle and practice. As I bring these remarks to a close, I am reminded of the enduring wisdom found in the words of Scripture. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Galatians 6, verse 9. This exhortation speaks directly to the work we undertake each day within this tribunal. It calls us to persevere, to remain steadfast in our duty, to continue laboring for justice even when the demands are great and the challenges persistent. May we carry this charge with us throughout the year ahead, strengthened in purpose, unified in service, and ever committed to upholding the rule of law for the benefit of all who seek redress before this institution. Thank you. I'm now going to invite the media in for the official photographs.
Remain seated. All rise.